So welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Fabiola. If you're new here, please like, subscribe and comment. So fast forward to episode 10. So we have Dr. Vivian that's put an activity together for all the couples to take part in, just to help them strengthen their trust and intimacy, just to help them bring them together and be more intimate, and just help them trust each other a bit more. So anyways, so Dr. Vivian goes to see olajuwon and Katina, and olajuwon is basically explaining that his main issue with Katrina is the cooking and the cleaning. He feels that Katrina is, in his words, lazy, and I don't think that is right. Katrina, she did say right from the beginning that she isn't the best cook, but she can cook what she knows how to cook, which I don't see anything wrong with that. And I said this from the start, olajuwon is a typical man that I won't even say typical man, because most men these days, they don't necessarily have the ideology that a woman should be this and only that should cook and clean, and that should be her only responsibility, that she can work but she needs to make sure that she comes home and cook and cleans. I don't know where olajuwon's got that idea from, but in my head personally, I know where he's got that from. I know where that is coming from. So and you have Dr. Vivian trying to explain to olajuwon that she was like, did you not eat before getting married? Which I thought that was hilarious. I mean, Dr. Vivian, I just love the way she analyzes things. And she's right, olajuwon, did you not eat before getting married? Like, why is that the only issue with you? Cooking, especially cooking. I didn't even realize cleaning was another problem. So she doesn't know how to clean, or she doesn't clean? Like, what is the issue? So to olajuwon, she doesn't clean as much, and she is, well, in his eyes, she isn't the typical wife that he envisions. I don't know what that boy wants, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what he wants. I just think he wants someone that is gonna feed him, that is gonna clean the house, that's gonna be pregnant, barefoot, and running around the house for him, doing everything that he wants. Because the only thing that I can hear that comes out of olajuwon's mouth is me, I. What can you do for me? What you should be doing for me, what I want, what I expect. olajuwon, unfortunately, a relationship doesn't just focus on one person. It isn't a one-way street, it's a two-way street. I mean, if you saw Katrina's eyes, you could, the bags, her eye bags, first of all, I don't know if that girl's been crying every day. She looks like she's been crying every day, or maybe she's not sleeping properly. I don't know, she just doesn't look happy at all. She doesn't look happy at all, and it's quite sad to see her like that, because she's a beautiful girl. She doesn't need to be having eye bags. There's no reason why. I mean, they've been living together for how many days now, and the girl's already got eye bags. Like, that's not right. And I'm scared in a way that olajuwon is such a, I'm trying to use my words carefully, traditional, I don't even know what to call it. Because we're living in the 21st century, olajuwon. You know what I mean? You're supposed to be working together. You're supposed to be doing things together. Yes, a woman's role is to feed her man, is to be, the one that looks after the house as well, looks after the home. Yes, you're absolutely right, but that shouldn't be your only point of focus. Why just, like, Dr. Vivian specifically said, why are you just focusing on her weaknesses? I'm sure she has other strengths. I'm sure she has really good things about her. I'm sure there's other positive things that you probably haven't saw or you don't want to mention, or you probably disregard it completely because your main focus is food and cleaning. Oh my god. Anyways, so olajuwon eventually comes out and he said the reason why he started getting emotional, I thought he was gonna cry. I don't know if he cried. I think he did cry, but the tears didn't come out of his eyes. So I don't know if he was faking it or not. So he's like, so the reason why I am picking on the cooking and cleaning is because, you know, I am just scared. I am scared that I'm giving my all and you're not being open, and you know, you don't tell me how you feel, blah de blah de blah. At this point, I was like, I think olajuwon feels, you know, he feels like he's been put on a spot for the way he's treating Katrina, and that is just an excuse to cover up this crazy behavior of his, and so we can feel sorry for him. That is just my opinion, because I feel like if you feel that Katrina isn't doing what you believe that an ideal wife should do, just talk to her. Just sit down and talk to her and work with her, help her. I don't understand why you need to constantly pick and pick and pick. And he spoke about the housewarming party where he basically did everything. You know, it's like, that is your wife. Why do you need to point that? Even if you did do everything, that isn't something that you need to specifically focus on. You know, I mean, this is my point. The thing is, they've both been living on their own for a long time, and Katrina probably isn't used to living with someone else. She's still getting used to that. Same as olajuwon. You know, they're still getting used to being a couple, living together, doing things for the other person, doing things together. I don't understand why olajuwon is struggling to get that through his head. Like, he isn't processing that. It isn't going to happen overnight. It's a process, you know. It's a working process. Like, you gotta work together. Anyways, so yeah, moving on to that, we have Steve and Noah. Like I said from the beginning and in the middle and probably in the end, I don't think Steve and Noah are gonna last, because you know, the reason why Noah is acting up sometimes and walking out and basically doesn't want to talk to Steve is because she is getting frustrated. I do believe that Noah is getting frustrated with Steve because, yes, they're still in the beginning phase, but it isn't going to be a honeymoon forever, Steve, you know. And he keeps saying that he doesn't need a job at the moment and he's absolutely fine, and you know, he's got everything in hand and blah de blah de blah, which absolutely makes no sense to me at all. I can't seem to process that in my head, how he thinks is okay. So, you know, Noah comes out and she says, right, I just don't, she's, you know, she's not used to having someone that doesn't work. You know, she's not used to being with someone, you know, with a partner that doesn't work at all. And you know, the thing is, Steve keeps talking about his savings. I mean, at one point he even mentioned to Noah, oh, do you not like having someone that can be at home and clean and cook all this good food and make sure the house is spotless? And you know, that isn't the point, Steve. And Noah even herself said, yeah, that it is absolutely nice. It's nice to have you home, but it isn't something that I envision long term. That isn't what I want in, you know, in the long run. You know, she's going out to work and he's staying at home doing nothing, or cooking and, you know, cooking all this nice food that she can come home and eat, and the house is spotless. I'm not even saying that I don't think. Noah herself has said that isn't something that she's ever envisioned. That isn't something that she's ever wanted. So I do understand why she does have moments where she, lashes out. She just doesn't want to talk to Steve, because she probably sees her future. She's going out to work, she's working, and he's sat at home doing nothing. And that probably scares her. And I can understand. I can completely understand why that scares her. I think that scares everyone that is watching this, because Steve is making no effort at all. He keeps saying savings, he's got savings, but unfortunately, Steve, you don't build a family with savings. It isn't. And Dr. Vivian was, basically trying to say, yes, you have savings, but in other words, how long are the savings gonna keep you going, Steve? What if something in the real world, because I don't think Steve is living in the real world. Let's be honest, he isn't living in the real world. He's living in Steve's little bubble. In a real world, let's say she becomes pregnant, she won't be able to work. She'll be at home a lot more, and Steve isn't working. He's gonna be at home every day. Where is the income gonna come from? And that is Noah's point. She basically was saying, you both have to contribute. Like, she doesn't want to be the only provider, and that's what scares her, really and truly. That is what scares Noah. She doesn't want to be the only provider, and that makes sense to me, but to Steve it doesn't make sense. If Steve had a plan that made sense to Noah and to probably all of us, that we could understand, I think Noah wouldn't be as concerned. But given that Steve has no plan at all, he is just living life day by day on his savings, from what he's saying and telling all of us, that is no guarantee for Noah. And I don't think this is gonna last. I really don't see this going far at all. I don't think they're gonna last. I really do not think this is gonna last. Yeah. So moving on to Michael and Jasmina. Can I say, Michael and Jasmina, those two are the most stubborn people I have ever seen. They are so stubborn. They're so stubborn. Michael is stubborn. Jasmine is stubborn. I mean, I seriously believe that Jasmina has checked out. Just given her facial expressions and just the way she is around Michael, that is just my opinion. I personally do feel like she has emotionally checked out. Yeah, I think she's still hurt by the comments that Michael, not even the comments, the accusation, the accusations that Michael invented. Because when I actually went back and saw the video myself, the clip, I don't think Jasmine did anything wrong. I seriously don't think she did anything wrong, unless I missed something, or there's something wrong with my my hearing or my eyesight. I don't think she did anything wrong. I might be wrong. I don't know. I might be wrong. I'm just saying what I think. So Dr. Vivian's gonna help them, because mainly the thing that they struggle with is communication. They don't seem to be able to communicate effectively together where they can understand each other. Michael clearly states that sometimes he doesn't hear what Jasmina says. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if he's just saying it or he means he doesn't understand what she... I don't know. So sometimes he says, I didn't hear what you said. Like, do you have selective hearing, Michael? Or do you just pick and choose? You know what? Sometimes I have that. I have selective hearing. I say that I didn't hear what you said if it doesn't make sense to me, if my brain cannot process what you've just said. It's selective hearing. And I think that's what Michael has. He picks and chooses what he wants to hear. And Jasmine is basically saying, that she doesn't feel listened to, and yeah, Michael just wants to listen to his own voice. From what she was trying to explain, I think that's what it is. Michael just wants things his own way. Jasmine wants things her own way. She's very stubborn. Dr. Vivian was talking to them in terms of intimacy. How are you guys, like, do you guys kiss and cuddle? And Jasmina was like, wow, she doesn't feel emotionally ready to do that yet. Or she isn't emotionally, connected to Michael. Do you know what? I feel like Jasmine has checked out. I think after that accusation, the girl has checked out, because she probably feels like if Michael can pick something so silly and accuse her of something that she didn't do, what is he capable of accusing her of in the future or later on down the line? To be quite honest, I think they are good together on paper, but because they are both strong-minded individuals, it's so hard for them to live together and to be together, because both of them want to be heard, both of them want to get their opinions across, both of them want the other person to do exactly what they want. It's hard. It's very, very hard. So I don't know. I really don't know if they're going to be able to sort this out as quick as possible. Rapido, because if this continues, they are not going to make it. They are not going to make it at all. I mean, Michael was talking about, because obviously Dr. Vivian was like, what about if you write things down? And Michael was basically like, maybe we can have a journal, maybe we can write things down and bring it to the table and discuss it, because clearly as verbally communicating doesn't work. And Jasmine was like, I don't want to write things down, that isn't what I want to do. If you want to do that, that's fine, because clearly I can communicate with my mouth. When I tell you Jasmina can be so petty, she is so petty sometimes. I was thinking, like, to be quite honest, I did think that point was I thought she was being a bit too aggressive and rude, because Michael was only suggesting maybe that's something we could try. I don't think she needed to approach it that way. She probably shouldn't have answered it that way. She could have said something else, like, no, I don't want to try that because X, Y, and Z, rather than saying, I don't want to do that. If you want to do that, that's fine. I'm happy to read your journal. When I tell you, she was like, yep, you can carry on with your journal, boo-boo. I ain't gonna do that. That's not my thing. I don't do journals. Oh God, Jesus. Wow, this is what happens when you put two stubborn people. I don't know, are they born in May? Because May people tend to be very stubborn. Maybe they're Leos, I don't know, but they are stubborn. They are very, very stubborn. To be quite honest, I don't think Jasmina and Michael have a real issue at all. I really don't think. Out of all the couples, I think their problem is very minute and it can be resolved probably in a day or 2 or 3. It's not like Olajuwon and Katina over there, where Olajuwon is constantly wanting a woman to cook and clean, and you have, thank God Alice has gone. You have Lindsay and Mark, that basically Mark can't seem to get Lindsay off his back because she is just, and like we all said at the beginning, she is too much. She is overbearing. She is on basically covering him. He feels like he can't breathe. So no, I think Michael and Jasmine, their problem is like this small, and everybody else's problem is probably that big, and they really have nothing to worry about. They just need to come to an agreement, to some sort of an arrangement in terms of communication, how they can get their issues across to each other in a polite, sensible, mature manner. So yeah, so there wasn't really much on this episode to talk about. I mean, they did a little exercise, and you know, Lindsay was getting on well with Mark. They were messing about with the toys that Dr. Vivian sent them, and it was just nice to see them, you know, happy and smiling and doing things for each other. And you have Katrina that did movie night for olajuwon, and he was very appreciative of that. He, you know, was like, oh, you look good, I really appreciate you doing this because I feel like you're listening to me. So it was nice to see them, you know, happy. And yeah, I don't think they're gonna be so happy the next episode as much as this one. But anyways, right guys, that was my opinion for this episode. I will see you on episode 11. Bye.